Today, 4 men approach a championship with as much history, as much reverence as any in the sport. A championship that's seen everything from the best there's ever been to the best you've never heard of.
Today is your day!
A tournament that's witnessed swan songs and final bows.
And they're on their feet, maybe the greatest champion of them all.
Defined exactly what Hall of Famer means.
He's got it, 300 games of Parker Dome.
Proven that great things really do come in threes.
Jason Belmonte will hoist the trophy for the 3rd straight time.
And that when the lights are brightest, a teenager can become a phenom.
Is 19-year-old Anthony Simonsen. You are the Masters champion.
4 men with a rare opportunity to write the next page in this famed major. To show us we haven't seen everything just yet. The 2025 USBC Masters starts now on Fox.
You to an historic home of professional bowling, Strobel Arena at Thunderbowl Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. This is the championship Stepladder for the USBC Masters, the 3rd major on tour in 2025. Our Stepladder bracket today sees Bill O'Neill and Justin Knowles in the opening match. Then the winner will play Anthony Simonsen. The winner of that has Gary Haines, the top seed. Gary only has to win once. Everybody else has got to win twice to take home the Masters title. Hello again, everybody. Along with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler and Chris Barnes will be joining us very shortly. I am Dave Lamont. Randy, there is a clear favorite in this event. We all think we know who's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's another major Sunday on the PBA Tour, and the clear favorite going into this afternoon is that man right there, Anthony Simonsen, the youngest ever to win the Masters, looking for his 4th. That would tie Jason Belmonte all time. But a lingering back injury has been plaguing Simonsen all season long. We'll see how the back holds up today.
But just like in 2024, there is somebody at the top of the stepladder we don't know much about. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, Gary Haines is looking to do exactly what De'Ron Booker did last season. He is the last undefeated player in the tournament, and Gary has not 1, but 2 games, if necessary, to capture a major. Let's see how the nerves hold up today under the bright lights of the PBA Tour.
Somebody who was very bright yesterday. Man, did Justin Knowles look good in his game.
Man, he really did. He was very impressive yesterday, delivering an 8-bagger en route to his win over Dom Barrett. And make no mistake about it, today he will be the fan favorite.
And next to you, he's the most popular guy in the building. He's standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Justin, so you are the hometown crowd guy. You have over 40 people here that came in just to see you and root you on. And last night they were even chanting your name. And this is the first major Stepladder final that you have made. So how are you going to use the excitement of this crowd to your advantage?
I feed off the energy. It's like a symbiote, man. Whatever they do, I react to it. And it seems like whatever I do, they react to it.
Now, you saw in the Open that they said that Anthony Simon is the favorite to win here. What are your thoughts on that?
There's probably about 100 people in here that would disagree, but, I mean, what do you guys say?
Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
All right, Justin Knowles, a confident man, and you know what? After the way he bowled yesterday, I don't blame him one bit for being confident. And you know, Bill O'Neill has the quiet confidence of major championship experience. Bill owning 3 of them. This isn't one of them. And Justin Knowles will begin first, and it looks like the left lane will be Justin beginning. About an hour away in Michigan, where Justin is living. And that unique pattern, we'll get into that in just a moment or 2. And the start we kind of expected with Justin. This is what yesterday looked like if you watch.
And let's just be clear. There's odds-on favorite and hometown favorite, right? Make no mistake about it. Justin is the fan favorite here. But when you've won the Masters 3 times, I would think that odds-on favorite would be Simonsen.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Thinking that Simonsen's not the favorite might be incorrect. Now, however, here's somebody who would have something to say about that. saw that ball yesterday in his second game. And a little wraparound for the 6.
Missed one of these yesterday to make it very interesting.
He had a day.
He did.
It is something to his resilience and the luck of the game sometimes that he is here today bowling. What are we talking about? We're talking about our Bowl TV highlights, Randy. 2 close calls for this man.
Yeah, he left that 7-10 there when he could have doubled to shut out Bailey, and then Bailey leaves that 10-pin, and Bill sneaks by him, and then Bill just needs to cover that for the win.
Yeah, that's it.
Grandpa could have struck out to tie. Instead, he leaves a solid 8.
Oh, and before that, before the missed 10-pin, don't forget Bill Brookland a strike.
Yep. He had a day.
And also, one more thing after the shot, which is a little, well, there he goes again. What I was going to say is the other thing that really helped him was Bailey Maverick. 2 things. One, a 2.
Yeah.
And a foul.
Yeah, he got 2 on a double, so he lost all that count, and then he did foul.
He fouled in the second frame. If that foul never happens, Bailey Maverick could be on this show today. Take a look at Justin Knowles' arsenal.
Going with Excel.
I tell you what, he could have thrown a marble yesterday. It didn't seem to matter. The reaction he got
great.
was unreal.
Bowled great. Spare and then 8 in a row. Are you kidding me?
What is...
Okay, I get one or the other, but not both. Solid 8-10. Ouch. Yeah, no doubt. Remember, yesterday our high game was 217 before Justin cranked 250.
5-pin took out the 7, but somehow missed the 8. Strange.
Better early than late.
Well, if any of the pros on today's show bowl a perfect game, everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To pre-register, just visit GoBowling.com and sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion.
Tell you what, this guy's been getting better and better each year. I think his game looks as good as ever. His ball roll is much better. He's been working on more forward roll.
And there you go.
That one's not splitting.
Worthy got split with the 8 and 9, split in half by his bowling ball.
Again, watch this roll. His hands up the back, and he's really trying to catch it. A lot of power going through those pins.
Looking for his first national title. Bill O'Neill looking for his 16th. Ooh, good reaction there for O'Neill. But that might have been a little wide right.
Well, he got that GB5 solid to come around the corner nicely on that right lane. See the rangefinder down lane. A couple boards right of that. And this time the 10-pin cooperates.
Bill being officially inducted in the Hall of Fame next month.
Look at that long road to get here. Wow.
And that time he didn't get a break on the lighter hit. Yeah, for those of you who may not be familiar with this format, this is a little bit of a different and a very demanding tournament. You have qualifying first, then the top 63 plus the defending champion are sent into match play brackets. And there is what is called a contenders bracket. Once you lose a game, that's where you spend a lot of time.
Contender bracket purgatory.
Perfect name for it. Justin Knowles down early, so we had 390 here in Allen Park. 15 games of qualifying. That's not so bad.
But this is where it gets to be, to me, chutes and ladders, because you just never know who you're going to get. And this is why this is, a lot of bowlers will tell you this is the most difficult of the majors to win. Some can argue the U.S. Open, but that double elimination format means if you're going to, only one guy's undefeated, that's the #1 seed, Gary Haines. Everybody else here is taking a loss. Look out!
1-3.
Yeah, it's not coming back from that part of the lane on either side.
Remember yesterday he started kind of nervously and he made a spare and he settled down after that.
Well, he spared in the first frame and then rung off 8 in a row. He never once looked uneasy, got some really nice hits. Saw some messengers coming across, taking the 7 out, but
well, let's go ahead and take a look at today's oil pattern, and it's a unique one. It's powered by Kegel. It's the USBC Masters pattern 44.
And designed by Nick Hoagland, 44 feet in length. You can see the hourglass shape there. So the key, #1, is to get the ball through the front part of the lane consistently so that you can get it to the break point consistently. And players tend to start a little bit farther to the outside part of the lane, try to break that down to give themselves something to throw into. And there's Justin's road, not near as long. Not near as long a list. But again, so much of the format here with who you get on what pair of lanes at what time.
Bill O'Neill was the #1 qualifier and immediately tumbled into that bracket.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Good one there. We saw Don Barry yesterday, lost his opening match, spent the rest of his tournament life in loser's bracket purgatory.
I don't know if it's a timing thing or what. It's just terrible. Man.
Stay in the moment. The process.
My goodness.
Word. My.
Got a handful of that one, and the ball goes right by the 9-pin.
I guess you take comfort in that it was a good shot. Razor margin between the ball and that 9-pin.
Come on. 10 for 10 on the 10 pins, and we get all of our great stats each and every week from our dear friends at Lane Talk. You want to be a better bowler, throw more strikes, increase your average? Head on over to lanetalk.com and download the free app. Looks like Bill's going with a lot more shine than he used yesterday. And again, breaking, no way.
No, wait a minute.
Oh, it's too much angle.
That's something I don't think you saw coming when that ball hit the pins.
And again, like Justin Knowles, goes just a pinch high and then leaves the split where it could have just been a 4-pin.
Taking a run at it. And bold, but just a little bit off. Well, it might be time for everybody to catch their breath. Both players have had some struggles. Both players have also thrown great shots. They're fighting for a chance at a major championship. Expect anything will happen here on Fox. The PBA on Fox is sponsored by the United States Bowling Congress. The USBC is working together to build a future for the sport of bowling at all levels. Visit bowl.com today to find out more. And a tense match here. Match #1, Anthony Simonsen takes on the winner. At the top of the step ladder is Gary Haines, and someone's going to have to beat Gary twice, or Gary will capture his first national title, and it'll be a major. And Justin Knowles on this right lane hasn't been good the first 2 efforts. in the pit. Now, you may have noticed Justin is festooned with tattoos, but there's one in particular that he's very proud and fond of. Here's Kimberly with more.
He is. So Justin asked his graphic designer friend Marcy Stark to make a logo to put on his jersey, and she came back with a design of an outline of a sword and shield, but it's really a bowling pin and his initials. So Justin told us the moment he saw it, he fell in love with it and knew he needed to make a tattoo out of it.
It's kind of cool.
It's got some nice ink.
Also has a 5-pin lead after a double, and that's his first strike on that right-hand lane where he will be finishing.
Likes that lane a lot. Yeah, he's made some great shots on that left lane. They've all struck. And that right lane, the bad break in the second, flags a head pin and then goes Brooklyn. So, as you mentioned, he will be finishing this match on that right lane. Thought possibly Bill would make a ball change, but he's staying with the same one he started with.
And look out, trip it good.
That ball's pushing way, way, way down the lane. It almost looks like it's too clean. Cleans up the front nicely so it stores energy longer, and then when it does come off the end of the pattern, it's pretty sharp. And that was almost disaster.
What's the alternative if something is too clean? I mean, it sounds like dirty, but obviously that's not the right word.
You go to a slower ball or maybe surface.
Okay.
All right, come on, make a move.
So what will that move be? What, in Bill's mind, is the move he needs to make?
That last shot was a couple of boards left and a little bit slower.
Well, you might have heard him say, come on, make a move. Now, let's see what that could mean a lot of things.
Good one there.
Come on.
Good move. Keeping the pressure on Knowles.
Bill has inched his way more towards the center part of the lane, a little softer speed. And now he needs some help. Knowles struggled on this right lane.
Oh, boy, that really took off.
Oh, this lane is no fun. Shot. It's a really good shot.
If I remember, that lane yesterday was a little tougher on left-handers. Nate Stubler had a particularly difficult time yesterday on this right lane. And the same thing is happening to Knowles. He did get a strike in the 6th frame, but it's been a struggle otherwise.
Three. Yeah, you're right. Stubler never struck on that lane yesterday.
That right there was your clean wipe, presented by Dude Wipes.
That could have been disastrous. Instead, he covers the 2-4-7 to maintain a 12-pin lead here in the 9th. O'Neill working on that strike. Hates it.
Well, and he should. He had an opportunity to strike out and lock things down, and instead he washes out.
Not very good. Not a very good shot.
Over to the right side of the head pin, cut it into the 4-7.
Pick it up.
Now choppy chopped.
And count. Just lost rhythm. Just got out of sorts.
Is that what it is? Because he was so good yesterday.
You know, he was locked in yesterday. His rhythm was good. He was repeating shots. And today, it's a different game. And it just takes one errant shot for the brain to just go, okay, well, don't do that again, and then you overcompensate.
But remember, the trials and tribulations of Bill O'Neill yesterday were pretty colorful. He just needs to make one good swing right here.
That is one good swing.
That was pretty good. And you can see the lines there migrating in.
Double for O'Neill.
Same way. Come on.
16, 10th frame.
His late father used to tell him, follow your process, your pre-shot routine. It's good things to think about, especially in crunch time.
15 pins to fill to advance to a match against Anthony Simonsen, 3-time USBC Masters champion.
Are you kidding me?
Second time it's happened to him.
Well, I guess if you look at the bright side, there's no 7-pin with it. Really good toss by O'Neill. Made the move and executed nicely the last couple of shots. Remember the 7-pin in the 7th, surrounded by a double.
This time he makes the spare. And just needs 6 to move on. So he's 3 for 3 in Brooklyn.
Oh my goodness.
In the last 2 days.
I don't know.
Is that going to be enough to beat Anthony Simonsen in a one-game sword fight, however? That's the question we're going to find out in a few minutes. Justin Knowles going to clean things up here. Justin's best appearance in a major in 2025.
Text Chad, see if he'll let me get a practice shot.
Yeah. So the question, I guess, for Bill and his reps, do you change equipment? Is there something else that can be done to get a little bit better? A couple of those, I mean, let's face it, looked like great shots, and he got solid 9s.
Yeah, well, that last shot, the Brooklyn was obviously a big yank left. But the four prior to that were pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell to do in the fill ball. It's like the right amount of pins to throw it down the middle. Right. But I also wanted to see a shape, and then I got up there. No, I just got there and decided.
Well, Justin Knowles brought a lot of folks.
Thank you. Thank you.
And they'll celebrate an outstanding USBC Masters for Justin Knowles. Now our stepladder, Bill O'Neill stepping up to take on Anthony Simonsen, the 3-time USBC Masters champion. He shares that bench with a great Hall of Famer, Mike Albee. The next bench, Jason Belmonte is sitting there, and Simonsen will try to join him. He's going to have to win 3 times in order to do it. Welcome back to Fox and the USBC Masters. Remember last year, March 31st, Suncoast Bowling Center in Vegas. D-Ron Booker, undefeated in the 64-player double elimination bracket. He became the #1 seed, of course, and then defeated Patrick Dombrowski by 40 pins in the championship final for his inaugural PBA title, becoming the 3rd career African-American bowler to win a PBA major championship. And D-Ron made a pretty good run at this year's Masters as well before he was eliminated.
Other finishers, we saw Graham Faw and Dom Barrett yesterday, along with Bailey Maverick and Nate Stubler. EJ Tech and darn near made another show. How about young Brandon Bone, Parker's son, doing so well? And there's D-Ron in 13th position, Kyle Troop. Jorge Rodriguez Rosas looked great as well, and some veteran names there in the 17th position, including Tom Smallwood, Matt Russo, and many, many more. And we welcome you back to our broadcast location, joined now by multiple Hall of Famer Chris Barnes, next to multiple Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. What did you think of that last match? Once again, Bill O'Neill seems to be skating on that thin ice.
Yeah, I thought he was in big trouble there, but Justin could never figure out the right lane. Bill, as it went on, moved further and further left, got to the part of the lane he's got most of his pins this week and where he's most comfortable. I think he's going to be a little bit of a handful, but it's still Anthony's, I think, to take. Yeah, it's a two-handful in the case of Simonsen, Randy. You've watched him warm up today. We saw him bring out a variety of bowling balls. Do we have any idea what he's going to do? Yeah, no, because he's got probably the biggest toolbox on tour. He can do just about anything he wants with a bowling ball. But I think the bottom line, guys, and I think Chris will agree with this, no matter what ball you decide to throw, where you play on the lane, it's going to come down to execution. You have to execute at the highest of levels, catch a couple of breaks, and make your spares. That's who's going to win this event. Yeah, and he certainly caught a couple of breaks. Bill has 3 Brooklyn strikes over 2 days, Chris. I know that would drive you nuts if you had to go against that, but Chris, it would drive Chris? No, I'm
Hearsay.
sorry. Never mind. So is there something you would tell Bill? Is it an equipment thing, or is Randy just throw it better? I think he just has to get comfortable. He's moved that first game. He moved the whole time. He finally got into that part of the lane where I think he's really good at. I thought he missed a little bit left the first one, the 10th at 9-pinned. He's going to bowl a much better game. Whether he can strike enough will be key. But Simons is going to play that 12-13 range, play really straight. It's going to be one of 3 or 4 balls, whichever one looks best for him. And, you know, he's one of the best executors in the game. Yeah. Chris, do you like the move that Bill made? Do you think he's going in the right direction? I do think he's in the right direction for him. I don't know how long it'll last, but I do think that's where he needs to be if he's going to have a chance against Simonsen. Well, as we said earlier, this USBC Masters is considered by many bowlers to be the toughest test of all the majors. And so in this edition of Pressing Questions with Kimberly Pressler, presented by Go Bowling, she asked why the Masters is so special.
Andrew, what makes the Masters so unique?
Yeah, one, I love that tournament. Obviously my first major win ever. But I would say that the most unique thing is it's kind of 2 tournaments in one. You bowl 15 games of qualifying, and then the next tournament actually begins.
Once qualifying's done, it's a 64-man bracket. It's just you, the lane, and the other guy.
Big bracket like that gives that March Madness type feel.
The top 64, you know, three game total, double elimination. Anybody can win it.
Definitely the hardest tournament to win, but it can also be the easiest tournament to win based on your draw.
David, what do you feel makes the Masters so unique?
Just the amount of bowlers that show up to it. It sells out every year, like 300 plus bowlers.
You know, anybody can bowl it. You just pay your entry, so you can be one of the touring pros, or you could be a local guy who lives down the road from the place.
You got so many different people, so many different styles playing different parts of the lanes. I think that's what makes Masters so hard.
The best players tend to find it to be the hardest, and I think it's the format that allows the most range of players a chance to win.
And do you like this format?
Love it. I think it's the hardest to win, the easiest to win. It's just, I think it's the best format we have.
Do you like this format?
Well, I've won 4 of them, so I would say, yeah, I like it.
Do you like this type of format?
I like it more now that I'm more than one of the guys in the middle than I was when I was the guy at the top. I led it 3 times and lost all 3 times in the final, so I didn't like that part very much.
Wow, Randy, Chris didn't forget that part, did he?
Yeah,
hey, at least you roasted yourself. I mean, I give you credit for that.
Well, I had a little help. Walter Ray whacked me twice with 290 and 268, and then Fagan gave me 240.
Walter Ray, always showing off.
Yeah.
What do you think, Randy? Is this the hardest one to win?
I think I agree with the guys. It's the hardest and the easiest. I mean, you get in the right part of the bracket, you get the right guys at the right time, and you can win this tournament. But if you're on the other side of that fence, brutal.
Well, the math says Gary Haines only has to win 1 game, and Anthony Simonsen and Bill O'Neill, they're going to have to win 3. Is the math right? Does Gary Haines have the big advantage, or do you have major champions going after the USBC Masters with the edge in experience? Simonsen going for number 4. His first step is next. Oh, you got to love being in Michigan. You got to love being in this building here at the USBC Masters, the Stepladder Arena, the Thunderdome, an historic building in professional bowling history, one of the greats. It's actually 2 bowling centers in one. You have this arena, and you have next door. The PBA is always proud to have Bowlers to Veterans Link as the official charity of the tour. In today's BBL Salute to Veterans, we do welcome retired U.S. Navy E6 Curtis Evans, who served for 21 years. Thank you, Mr. Evans, for your service. And we do urge you to go to bbl.org to donate. And now, Kimberly Pressler.
Anthony, you are a 3-time Masters championship, and you actually won in this building as well. So how do you use your past experience to make it number 4 today?
Bowling on a different pair than we have previously, but I do have some experience across these couple lanes. We're going to go out, try to make 10 good shots, and see where it takes us.
Now, we talked earlier in the season that you were struggling with back injuries. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, I've been seeing a few different physical therapists throughout the week. I think I've been worked on like 5 times in the last 13 days. We go home for a week. I've got 3 PT sessions scheduled. We're feeling significantly better, so we're going to go out there and give it a run.
Good luck to you today.
All right. Thank you, Kimberly. Bill O'Neill, Hall of Famer. Anthony Simonsen may have his own wing in the Hall of Fame the way he's been going. And Bill will start on the left lane. Flush for O'Neill on the left lane.
And guys, based on our first match, I don't see a distinct advantage one lane or the other for O'Neill in that opening 202 game that he posted. Chris, did you see something different?
No, I think the only thing that's really different about him is the carry on the right lane's harder. I think he had an easier time getting the pocket on that lane, but he did not come over much. And more of that's even from yesterday even than today.
Go pretty straight at it.
And there he is right in the zone that Chris talked about when we were on camera. He's going to play that little slot right there. Chris, we used to call that the track. What do you call it today?
Yeah, it's still the track. And it's still just the area between second and third arrow right there. He's actually not as straight as he was a lot of time in the matches. So he's opted to hook it just a little bit more, probably taking advantage of what Bill has done up to now.
So it's still called the track?
Still called the track.
Good. Thanks. Take a look at his arsenal going with Alpha Crux. And again, we see the players using very strong equipment.
And he's going to take a timeout. Normally you have 25 seconds to shoot. And depending on the tournament, you either get fined, warned, or there's several different little punishments. But you know what? He's loved this tournament. 2016, look at him. Royal Pin Woodland in just outside of Indy. He goes 8 for 9 in the first 9 frames and beats Dan McClelland, and he leaves a 4-pin here. And he was 19 years, 39 days old then.
You know, back in the day when the lanes got really difficult, straighter was always greater, right? And the more in front you could keep your trajectory, the better off you were, as opposed to trying to cross a lot of boards. Chris, you see the same thing?
Still the same thing. The strategy changed a little bit. The rev rates are so high that urethane becomes the way to do that same thing. It hooks early enough you can have a little angle left to right, but control the back part of the lane.
Now, something we need to remind you of, and we'll probably say this a couple more times, the winner of this match is going to have to beat Gary Haines twice. All Haines has to do is win 1 game, and he is the USBC Masters champion. O'Neill with a double. You know, we mentioned Bill's going into the PBA Hall of Fame. My dear friend Randy's going in the USBC Hall of Fame May 7th.
Yeah.
With a very distinguished class. And Mike, congratulations to you for that. It is deserved, and I know a lot of bowling fans are happy about it. And this event, of course, run by the USBC, the governing body of the game. They set the rules. They're the principal.
Yeah, special thanks to USBC and
not only for myself, but all of the other inductees that are going in, Tom Clark and Shannon and Brian Goebel. And I know I'm missing someone. I'll think of it in a sec. But, yeah, it's a huge honor. I get to double up with the likes of the guy sitting next to us.
Oh, boy. Another Brooklyn strike? All right, I guess the question, and I'll take a volunteer from the audience here, why has he gone Brooklyn so often?
Because he's afraid of throwing it to the right.
Yeah, once you 210 once, you're not going to throw it over there. But the most common mistake the top-level players do is they'll get a little forward, that shoulder will come in front, and then it's just offline. There's no way to get your swing back up inside and get it back online. Pattern like this, one left in the front, turns into 3 pretty quick.
And guys, just quick note, the last inductee going in, Keith Hamilton. So, yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a great event. And again, special thanks to Chad Murphy, USBC, for the honor.
See, Simonsen was marching along as the number 2 qualifier. In fact, these are the 1 and 2 qualifiers right here. Bill was first, Anthony was second, and then he ran into Gary Haines. And that was that. It's the number 2 seed.
There you go. You know, I've always been amazed at, there's Chad Murphy on the right, Tom Clark, the commish on the left. Chris, I've always been amazed at what Anthony Simonsen can do with a bowling ball. Even though he's a 2-hander, high-rep guy, he's able to shove the ball through the front part of the lane, unlike other 2-handers that we watch.
I think that's where he separates from the other 2-handers, is he likes to push the ball down the lane. When they took away weight holes, he struggled to get his ball to hook enough. And so even though his rev rate's 500, he's able to get the ball very long on a line, even with reactive, which a lot of the other guys can't.
Oh, man.
Like that. Say Bill has to be 5 further left because of how much more his ball is hooking in the front, right, 15, 20 feet, versus Simonsen can get A to that first tracer, and it's still on a line. And it's almost on that same line past the second tracer. An immense amount of touch, and that's really where he separates from the other 2-handers, really, and 1-handers on tour.
But O'Neill fights right back.
Come on, same way. Come on.
Hey, PBA All-Star Weekend is coming up, by the way, in Wisconsin. 1-handers versus 2-handers. And the list is stunning. And it just so works out that the top 10 players in points are all going to be there. It's 5 1-handers and 5 2-handers. Unbelievable Baker format that's going to be. And that's a great weekend of PBA coverage on FS1 with the PBA Junior National Championships. Then the PBA All-Star Weekend presented by Cubica AMF, noon Eastern Saturday. And the Strike Derby Sunday at noon Eastern, all on FS1.
Uh-oh.
Just having a hard time getting it online on that left lane.
And he's still winning. That's the amazing thing about here, that Bill is still finding ways to win. Getting a little help, of course, from the opponent from time to time, but he's still around.
Chris, do you go for the conversion or the count?
Conversion.
That's Bill's plan, wide right.
And that's the risk.
Yeah, with the single pin being over there, I mean, you could go for the 2, but it is makeable. Left a lot of them this week. A lot of guys have made them this week.
And I would say, Randy, in some defense, that look who you're going against. I think you have to roll the dice a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Inside. Wow.
Good news, bad news.
Yeah. You see he's bringing the heat. He's going straighter than O'Neill, so with that, he has to have faster ball speed to keep it on line. I wouldn't consider that a very good break, Chris.
No, not a great break. It was close enough to strike, but on the other hand, at the arrows, if he said, well, that still hit the pocket, I'd say he'd be encouraged moving forward.
Now, with that being said, does that not give him further confidence on the right lane, knowing he can miss a little bit left?
100%. This is when he's at his scariest, because he's got enough touch to get it back from a little further right around that tracer. Now, if he can miss inside of that and get a little hold.
See what Anthony's done this year in major championships. He does not have a 2025 victory. Whoa. Look how those lines line up into one perfectly blended line. Anthony Simonsen looking to be in pretty sharp form. Bill O'Neill trying to find what the real deal is here at the USBC Masters. We're going to conclude this match when we return with the winner taking on Gary Haines for the title. And back in action, Bill O'Neill, hands on hips, trying to figure out how he can make up a 16-pin deficit to Anthony Simonsen. He's been clean through 6 here at Stobel Arena. The winner of this will get into a situation with Gary Haines, the #1 seed, where they're going to have to beat the #1 seed twice to claim the major championship.
Yeah, real nice. Let's go down to the floor, lane side, with PBA champion and tour rep Mike Wolf. Mike, what did you discuss with Bill during the commercial break?
He's just got to stay ahead of the transition. He was rushed on a couple shots, so just needs to settle in, get his feet underneath him, and he'll be all right.
All right, Mike, thanks.
Rush, he's talking about the 25-second shot clock, and it starts as soon as your ball comes out of the ball return. And his routine is putting him right up against it on that left lane.
Yep, there's no rushing that. Beautiful shot from O'Neill, a double coming out of the break, and a little bit of heat thrown towards Simonsen's way.
5 out of those 7 have been as good as shots as he's thrown over the 2 days. It's the 2 shots on the left lane that have got offline in the front. Really got him a little off balance.
Yeah, the left lane is where O'Neill had that 3-4-7 that he converted nothing of, and that's kind of sitting there, weighing him down just a touch. And almost a mixer.
Lane's gonna do me like that.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Anthony.
I think we were all surprised.
Little dirty shaker 4.
Yeah.
Normally the head pin comes right off the wall and it just pirouettes around it.
Well, he had a little trouble. And in his match against Haines, he missed one of these. Well, Anthony also had some strategy to discuss during the break.
I mean, I'll make this shot, but if it kind of breaks off again, I'll just scoop back a half. That's all I did on the right lane.
Okay.
Because I didn't really want to move. I needed to lay there. I want to stay right.
I am always amazed at how fine this sport can be.
A half. That's half an inch.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Look inside.
Yep.
Forward left at the arrows, and then a couple at the break point. Can't do it on this pattern. It's too flat.
Yeah, that left lane, the same thing that Bill has had on that lane. Not as much hold on the left lane. If you can get it to the pocket and carries, much better, but harder to get it there. When he was talking about that half, I felt like he was talking about the right lane because he's had a little, you know, the one that's super high flush. And maybe he moved a little left there, and that was a shaker. But when he referenced the right lane,
right, and then he left the 4-pin on the left lane, so that's why we were kind of stuck in trying to figure out which lane he was talking about.
Bill O'Neill, if you take a look at those max scores, 243, 228. See what happened in the PBA playoffs and Bill won.
tip, tip, tip.
Oh, no. And I heard Chris say something about the 210 a few minutes ago.
He knew early. He needed that one to get up. Off it. It was really on line. He just must have missed it just a touch at the bottom.
We'll see if he can fly that 2 over.
Chance.
Ball speed was the same as location. Arrows was the same. And it's still 210s.
And all of a sudden, Anthony Simonsen takes the advantage. Round 1 of the college basketball crown starts tomorrow on FS1 with Utah against Butler at 3 Eastern. George Washington versus Boise State at 5:30. Nebraska and Arizona State at 8:30. And then Washington versus Georgetown and Washington State actually at 11. College basketball crown tomorrow on FS1.
His reaction was that he hit. I think he missed it at the bottom. Because we have great numbers here, and they look perfect.
And again,
same thing.
Oh wow!
2-4-18 split.
Wow.
Although that you can see by the graphic there.
That goes higher. It skids all the way by it.
So is he trapped in that situation, guys, you talked about, where if he goes too far, he's worried about going too far right. Now we see why he's worried about going too far right.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens when you see the players miss left, and when the body feels like it can't miss an inch to the right, you're going to tug a lot of shots. And I think Chris is spot on. The right lane, I think he missed it at the bottom because the numbers don't lie, right? They were good numbers, and it didn't come around the corner, which tells us that he just kind of missed it at the bottom. That one, I think he got it, but it was obviously right at target.
Well, the last shot went high. He's trying to make sure he gets it over there.
Yep.
You have to trust in that situation. You're in a must-strike situation, and then it pushes all the way by it.
Yeah.
Strike for Simonsen here would just about tidy it up. Well, he's going to have to work for it.
I know. But again, straighter is greater when they're hard. And patterns get flat. You know there's got to be a little bit of a worn spot in that track area from the balls that have gone down the last couple of games, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Simonsen's game plan was exactly what Chris talked about in our on-camera, where he's going to just try to shove it right into the track and keep it on line.
Yeah, using an older ball that's a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
All the kind of things to go along with his tool bag to let it stay in that same track area and just trap it in that zone.
And something we should remind the audience, this is a USBC event, so Anthony could pull out a ball that he couldn't use on the PBA Tour, but would be USBC approved. That option is there. I'm not saying he's done it, but this being under the auspices of the United States Bowling Congress. Oh, wow. Wait a minute.
Just enough.
And that is just enough. Anthony Simonsen.
Yep.
Well, I'm not sure either one of you guys have won too many games with big fours.
In the 10th?
In the 10th?
Usually it doesn't happen. It
the
doesn't
fact,
go your way.
Those Hall of Fame rings you guys get to carry around would indicate that didn't happen very often.
Well, here's a test. He's going to use it. Go with a stronger ball, something that might let him move a little further left and see if it gives him.
Do you think he'd just do that on the left lane, Chris? Stay the course on the right lane?
I'm sure you'd like to throw a strike shot first.
Like to have another one?
Yeah, one more. But given that Bill has a better reaction on the right lane from inside of where Simonsen's at, I would say he will.
The lanes have gotten hard. I don't think there's any question about it, but
as it should be for a major.
Yep. You're not going to get any arguments here from either one of us, I am sure. So who's going to adjust the best? And don't forget, now a left-hander enters the picture.
Thank you.
Who's going to adjust and execute the best?
You would think the advantage would go to that guy.
Yeah.
Most experience. Most wins not named Belmonte in this event. But beating anybody twice is really difficult work.
Yep. Great week by O'Neill.
Yeah, tremendous week for Bill O'Neill. #1 overall qualifier is going to finish in 3rd place. And there he is, Gary Haines. Is he the 2025 version of D-Ron Booker, the bowler we didn't know much about, who goes on to become the USBC Masters champion? All he has to do is win one time, but look who he's going to bowl against.
Gary Haines, the lefty from New York, against Anthony Simonsen from Vegas, coming up for the title. The PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to gobowling.com to find a center near you. All right, registration for the 2025 PBA LBC National Championships is now open to bowlers of all skill levels. The PBA LBC National Championships returning to the Chicago area and includes a division for everyone, competing in singles and optional doubles if you like, and team events. Even combine your scores with the pros. Enter today at PBA.com. Well, it's time for the frame of the game presented by Beatbox and the struggles of Bill O'Neill, Randy.
Yeah, it came down to the 8th and 9th frame, back-to-back open frames for O'Neill, starting there in the 8th with a 210 and then the 2-4-8-10, and that was pretty much it.
That was the frame of the game presented by Beatbox, the ultimate party in a box. Beatbox, what's your flavor? And we do invite you to please enjoy responsibly. All right, guys, we have Gary Haines on television for the first time against a guy who's been on television more than we have been practically. What was your first time on TV like when you bowled?
Well, I was a top seed in Albuquerque, and I shot all of about 160 something. So, yeah.
Can you top that?
I can sure relate. Tucson, Arizona, David Ozio, 157.
All righty then. So what could Gary? So what is possibly going through his mind? We don't know Gary Haines that well. Obviously, we just met him earlier this week. So what's going through the guy's head like this?
I mean, right now he's trying to keep what's inside from coming outside. Right? It's those first few shots where you try to get your legs underneath you, and you just try to remember to breathe.
Well, let's see if he's standing upright.
Everybody handles it differently. There's no telling what's. I mean, this guy could come out and just be lights out, or it could be a really long 2 games for him.
Well,
you just never know.
Let's find out what he's thinking, because Kimberly Pressler may have the questions right now.
Thanks, Dave. So, Gary, you told us in pre-show interviews that nerves were going to be your biggest challenge today. So how do you keep the emotions in check?
I'm trying to just enjoy the show, right? I already feel like a winner that I'm here, right? So, I'm not bowling for my livelihood, right? So I can relax a little bit. I'm already going home with money. Am I bowling 1 game or 2? I feel like that's it. That's all it is.
Now, you did all of your qualifying over in the main bay, but now we are in the arena. I saw you take some practice shots. How different is your strategy over here?
It's not much different. I think me and Justin broke the pair down decently. It's going to be more get my feet under me, making good shots. If I make good shots, the look is there.
Well, I know you have some practice left, so I'll let you get to it. Good luck today.
All right, Gary, good luck. Thanks for taking the time with Kimberly. And, of course, guys, unfortunately for Gary, he's not bowling me. He's bowling Anthony Simonsen, who has a game under his belt.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, for me, is 2-0 enough for Simonsen in 2 games? Is 2-0 enough? Because right now the lanes look extremely difficult, but is 2-0, 2-10, is that going to be enough for Simon to win this again?
If Gary has the same look that Justin had on the right lane, yeah, it would be enough. But I do think it's probably 2-10 the first game, and then it's probably going to take a little bit more after that.
Yeah, the right lane has been difficult for left-handers over these last couple of days, so we'll see how Haines can conquer that. If he can conquer that, he could be your new USBC Masters champion. He only has to win 1. Simonsen has to double that in order to take his 4th USBC Masters. The fight is on. You'll see it next on Fox.
This is a major championship that has seen greatness across decades.
That's why he's the best that ever lived.
That has produced the unimaginable.
The youngest ever to win a major.
The impossible.
Jason Belmonte will hoist the trophy for the 3rd straight time.
The unforgettable.
He's done it. 300 games of Parker mode.
10 final frames to make history, to master this major moment. The 2025 USBC Masters Finals start now on Fox.
Well, will that man there in the background hoist that trophy in the foreground for a record time 4th time? Or will it be Gary Haines taking a national championship, his very first, and it would be a major. Here's Gary seated. Simonson's going to start. These are the two who met a couple of days ago to determine the number 1 seed.
That's this first one.
And Haines won. So he has one game for $100,000. Simonsen will have to beat him twice. That looks like a ball change.
That is. Phase 2 with surface. Hey guys, just want to drop something. You know, about 20, 21 years ago, this event was held at Miller Park, the finals.
I know where you're going with this.
Danny Wiseman won it, and it was the first time we were ever in a baseball stadium. I think I was up in the rafters some mile and a half away calling the action. Yeah, it was great.
And Danny still wears those shirts today. Gary Haines, first shot on TV and he gets a trip 4.
Hey, Chris and I, we watched a lot of that in practice and warm-ups.
One way to get loose. He's trying to say all the right things. He's trying to be loose. He was just playing it low-key during match play. And it's all great. It's just not real.
No.
I mean, it's different. Even in the matchless to make it here, it's just different than when you're standing up here. Now there's 200-300 people in the building, the lights, the cameras, and nothing is louder than the silence of TV.
Here's his arsenal going with troublemaker solid. He's trying to make a little trouble for Simonsen early on.
And through the face a little bit from extra work for Gary on a 2.47.
I think, guys, he started the tournament with 147.
Yeah.
And now he's here.
And he was on the verge of elimination. He had a dramatic last game of qualifying where he had to wait to shoot a 2.47, 8.10 split. There was a little bit of a mechanical issue. He had to wait, made it. Then there was another small breakdown. He had to wait again. Eventually, that lane was shut down, and he and the people he was crossing with finished. Oh, my goodness.
All right, Chris. So we got Brooklyn and then that. This is the best possible start for him as we look at this dude wipe spare.
Dude, indeed. And just
my goodness. That is a late wipe.
Come on.
Clean.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, he's basically throwing 3 shots. He didn't love any of them. He's clean. He's in the match. Might be all he needs to get started.
Oh, boy.
And this is part of what makes Simon one of the best in the game.
One right on that lane.
He knows what his equipment is off of each other. He makes a blind ball change. He hasn't thrown this ball at all since the practice before the show, and starts off with a double.
He's not afraid.
Fearless.
Never has been.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing.
Come on.
Looking for his first win in 2025.
Oh, boy. Same ball speed, same location, different bowling ball.
EJ and Belmo might have been the best bowler over the last decade. This is the guy I think is the most talented, though.
I've heard that said before. And I'm not going to disagree with you. Biggest toolbox?
100%.
See, Gary has not lost. Qualified 51st.
Way better.
All right. Kick save and a beauty on the 7.
I think literally he called his own shot here. He just needs to get his feet underneath him.
Look at that.
What?
So he has made this. This was his 4th made cut in this event. In the prior Masters, he made cuts. He was eliminated. Boom, boom. 0-2, 0-2, 0-2.
That's right into the face. Well, you know, in 2013, he was the Eastern Region Rookie of the Year. He's experienced, but certainly not at this level.
And he hasn't even bowled that much this year. He had to go through the PTQ to get into the Delaware tournament in January. Did not make it. He was 34th there. Even in his area in New York, he has a job that keeps him quite busy. And he says there's barely any time to bowl nearly as much as he would like to. This is the first time he has left this in this event. Cover. No trouble at all.
Kudos.
Wow.
I mean, 2 tough spares. He's got one on line. He's just got to get it off his hand a little cleaner. Every one he hangs off.
Better, and now you're more aggressive, so I would chip.
I think I'm like first 2 steps too quick, and I'm getting this way.
Just go ahead and move a little bit right.
This one just to...
Yeah.
Dino Castillo, who certainly knows his way around the bowling center. And Simonsen really hasn't varied the game plan, it looks like.
No, last one was light shaker there, and that is just, he tried to freeze it up on it just a little bit more. If that one holds, Gary's in big trouble.
So, Chris, since it's not built in and the pattern hasn't developed to that, he does it with talent. He does it with
rotation, speed,
touch. Rotation, the way he pushes it through the front part of the lane.
Yeah, now the question is on that lane, he's gone shaker, now he's gone 4-pin. Do you move left off the softer shot, or do you move right off the shaker and try and really be firm at it?
I would inch a little towards the end. I'd move a little in. Just a little.
I think our moves is to move left. I think his actually is to be firmer.
That looked pretty firm to me.
That looked pretty good immediately, right? like right as it passed his shoelaces.
Wow. 19.4 miles an hour, rev over 500. We'll take a look at their record in this tournament. Strike percentage a little bit in favor of Simonsen. Same with strike after strike percentage. Clean fame percentage also favoring the 3-time Masters champion. But a solid performance, obviously, for Gary Haines to step into this arena undefeated.
You know, I'd say a lot of that was gained through qualifying, where Simonsen qualified quite a bit higher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
he goes
shoulder
for
again. I mean, he's still in this match, and the nerves are obviously pouring out at this point. There's no way around it. You can try and pretend to be calm. The adrenaline's just flying.
Yeah, gets fast from the top, pulls it. Left shoulder goes forward, ball goes right.
Is that the first sign that somebody is affected by nerves as they go too fast?
Yeah, when timing gets off and misses become big. I mean, that's unusually big for a player of Gary's caliber for sure. And so the good news is he's still around and he has a chance to settle in.
And, well, thought he might mix that up a little bit.
You got a game to get your legs under you. Let's go, bro. No problem. That was much better tempo.
Not a few shots
much
a game.
Better tempo.
That's what he just said.
Yeah, and he's right, because just to remind everybody that he can lose this game. You take a look at his wife and his father, his wife Lauren,
no worries here.
Dad Joe, and they look nervous too.
Well, it's just not the same thing you've seen all the way through all the match play.
Whole game, baby.
Where he's been really good, match after match after match, made guys show up, finished matches to win. He's done everything he's been asked to do, and played at a super high level. It kind of looks like he's gotten to the point now where he's just kind of mad, and that might actually help him. That should chase away some anxieties. Guys like Pete Weber and Tommy Jones have done that for years.
Oh boy.
Oh. Got a break, believe it or not.
Yee. So it looks like he went with the move you were talking about, a little left, a little slower, but.
And then pulled it.
Yeah, he was left and left. Instead of a 1-1 or 1-0, that was a 1-2. And
I mean, the thing you can't do is give this guy any hope.
Precisely.
No, if you go back to his matches, he had so many matches that were 10-pin matches. And that's what I think sets him apart in this generation. He's the best action guy. He's the best closer of this group of really top-tier players. He doesn't mind being in that moment. Seems to welcome it.
And that's been going on since he was a teenager. If you go back to when he won this tournament at 19, he never shied from the spotlight. Ooh, That's as pure can be. We have a full weekend of football, and it all starts with Fox UFL Friday as the Birmingham Stallions take on the Michigan Panthers at 8 Eastern. Then next Saturday at 6:30, the San Antonio Brahmas take on the St. Louis Battlehawks, the United Football League, next weekend on Fox and FS1.
Looking forward to watching a little of that.
The Frozen Four coming to St. Louis in a couple weeks. That's a big deal from college hockey fans.
Right there's the Gary that we've seen throughout.
Yeah, best shot of the match.
Yeah, and he's still within 19. That's, you know, hard to believe. He did get a couple of breaks early.
Good tempo. Good tempo. Good tempo.
But this lane here coming up has been his trouble lane, guys. He has yet to strike, and this will be the lane he finishes on. The left.
Another good tempo. Let's go.
It's close. Oh.
Shot. Got a whole nother game. Just get comfortable. Just get comfortable.
I mean, if you're listening to the words he's saying, he's already passed off. If this first game's just a, hey, I know I'm going to be nervous on TV. I'm just going to get dialed in, and I'm going to win the second game.
But this game's not over.
It's not.
He's had a few misses on 7 pins. Not this one.
Getting comfortable. Just getting comfortable.
You think it's a psychological trip to try and take down the intensity and the adrenaline and all the pressure?
Yeah, I think he's trying to talk himself into it.
Oh, 100%. And again, all he has to do is look in front of him to see why this is going to be so difficult. He didn't draw an average opponent. He didn't draw some guy looking for his first or second title. You know, he drew a hard a draw as you can get. And Simonsen clearly didn't like the shot and didn't have a reason to.
And Simonson's going to finish on that lane. Gary's going to get a chance to step up in the 10th and put a lot of pressure on Simo.
Talked about it throughout the telecast. It's going to come down to execution. You have to make the shots.
And he didn't.
See it coming. You could see his body language. The ball got just past the arrows.
And Simon, yep, thank you, Randy. Simonsen still has the edge with a max.
And now he has a highlight on that right lane that he's got to finish on. You might wonder why his spare ball looks so dull. Because it slips off when it's got all that polish on it, so he doesn't like having it super shiny.
Yes, that's perfection from Anthony Simonsen. But can he do it a few more times in the 10th?
Yeah, well, it wasn't good footing. I'm almost tempted to just throw the other ball on this lane.
Of course you would, because it's the 10th frame. Yeah.
Not afraid.
Let's see what kind of pressure Haines can put on Simonsen.
This could be a $50,000 9th and 10th frame.
Oh, wow.
Not anymore.
Wash out.
Wow. But you can see the lines up there. It got outside of target. I thought it was actually okay, but it did not pick up at all, and that's what you saw Justin have on that lane earlier.
No, not close.
Got a whole game.
That was until that frame.
Count there is a big deal, too. Simon doesn't have it completely dialed in on this right lane, and on the strike, even with a triple in the 10th, Simon's just going to need 9 on 2 shots.
Right. Yeah, so count. Kind of a big deal right there. Ball change. Stealth mode, and not a very good result.
Not a bad idea, though, right? To try something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Love the idea right until it leaves a split. Now you get thrown back with another question mark instead of an answer.
Well, if I'm him, I'm going to tear my Achilles getting over to Dino Castillo to talk to him about what do I got to do here? What's your advice, pal? Because you've won some tournaments.
Slow hooked it.
Yeah. So he did catch a piece of the 3-pin, but that was basically another lineup shot.
Yeah. So we will have another game between these two, and that will be it to decide the USBC Masters.
But what about the outer limits? You don't feel confident with the outer limits?
No, I've been throwing symmetrical stuff the whole time. Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, just quick.
I think we can freshen up the outer.
Anthony. Boy, he's not making shots on that right lane, is he, guys?
Go get it. Level.
Well, he's asked for one of his ball reps to go get him something else. So.
And it's something my Hall of Fame wife has said many times. When you're throwing shots like this, your body telling you you're not comfortable. You're just not throwing the right thing. So you got to get out of it. You got to get to something different. Really needed to make that though, so he got a free shot. I thought he was going to do it on the first one.
There
okay,
we go.
We're going to go to a level.
Yeah.
All right, urethane-ish. He's going to try and keep it right in front of him. This should be 2 or 3 right, probably. It's got a lot of surface on it, but I think this will keep it closer to the head pin.
It's just going to try to jam it.
Mm-hmm.
I would call that jam.
What do you think about that, Mr. Barnes?
I think there's only a few guys that are not afraid to do that for all the money. So
You want to keep the 4.
One game left for the USBC Masters Championship. Once again, like this last game, we will present it to you commercial free. Anthony Simonsen looking for number 4 Masters titles. Gary Haines looking for his first title. We are down to 1 game. We had 390 start the USBC Masters here in Allen Park, Michigan. And now it's down to Gary Haines, Anthony Simonsen, Uno Mas one more time for the championship. And just a couple of moments ago, we caught this conversation.
Stay within yourself. Make your good shots.
I got more comfortable towards the end.
You did. You definitely did.
Hey, we're going home with 50,000. Who cares at this point? Let's just have some fun.
Not a lot. Just wanted to give it.
That's Mike Martell, who was the runner-up in this event to Anthony Simonsen in 2023. A lot different looking Mike Martell. He has lost a lot of weight, is in great shape now, and bowling pretty well. So advice for his good friend and his roommate, Gary Haines.
And let's go down to the floor and talk to Dino Castillo. Dino, real quick, what do you make of that mindset heading into this last game?
He's close.
I just think the problem is what's going on with him is he's nervous. He's got to get the nerves out. He
got to breathe every frame.
just try and play it out like he's out in league. Try to play it out like he's bowling a tournament. He's bowling the crowd. He's not bowling the tournament itself. He's worried about the whole atmosphere.
Well, a Masters title and $50,000 might say different, guys.
50,000 is the runner-up money. 100,000 for the winner.
I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead and finish your thought.
No, that was it. 100,000 for the winner.
Just never gotten the right mentally never gotten to the right place.
He's trying to talk himself off the edge, but it's 50,000. It's a major. It is important. Go ahead and own how important it is. Bang. Sniper.
Gently tumbling.
It looked like it got hit by a taser. So the ball changes to a stealth mode, and this is a move towards the inside part of the lane, creating more angle. With that, his ball speed gets a little bit softer.
Looks like it chloroformed the 10-pin more than snipered it. Just passed out.
Now that ball's that path to the pocket for Simonsen on the right lane, that ball has to lay there.
It has to lay there, and I think you probably bump it a little bit. I think this whole choice is based off scoring pace and what he anticipates Gary bowling. I don't think Gary's going to shoot 170 again, but I don't think Gary has reaction to shoot 220 or 30. So if he can control the pocket on the right lane, he's got all strikes on the left lane.
Damon, can we get them to stop cutting it in between grass? Because it's reflecting on the lane every time they change it up there. Can we get them to stop cutting shots like that? Every time the Fox logo comes up, it's blasted on the middle of the lane in my approach.
One of the many things you deal with on TV that you don't think about. But as he's standing there, the bright red Fox logo does reflect off where apparently he's targeting.
We take a look at, there's the big picture of it, and you see, if you look closely at the lanes, how it does reflect different signages, I should say. And it got to him a little bit.
He never missed. He hasn't missed on this left lane.
And that's the lane he will be finishing on.
Yeah, interesting choice to let Simo finish on that lane, but it's purely an offensive move. He has not
changed it. It's right in the middle of our approach. Hey.
I didn't want to interrupt. But Gary's only hit the pocket on the right lane, so he's playing offense. I don't mind that strategy. I don't love letting Simo have a double in the 10th. That's it.
And folks, I'll let you know a little secret that Chris told Dave and I during the commercial break. When Simonsen made that ball change on the right lane, Chris said, if Simonsen strikes twice with that ball change on the right lane, he wins. I agree.
Well, he didn't strike in the first frame, so he'll be up on that right lane next.
And it goes to what you're talking about in the left lane. He's so good in the left lane that every strike on the right lane is a three-bagger. So even with an open, you're looking at 220. I think 220 right now is going to be very hard for Gary to get to. He hasn't thrown enough really good ones yet to know what his ball is going to do on both lanes yet. But as we've seen in the other matches, it can turn in a real hurry. Bill looked like he was dead, then he was through. And then he looked like he was fine, and then it flipped the other way against Simonsen. So can he get his feet underneath him and get a little bit comfortable?
And that crosses over, and he gets a huge break. So is this, guys, kind of the reverse of what we saw with Bill O'Neill earlier, where Bill was afraid to go too far right, and we saw what happened when he did? This almost looks like the same thing, only the left-handed version.
I think there's some elements of that.
I do as well.
Yeah, I think he's really uncomfortable. And that shoulder goes forward. It starts off somewhat on line, but it's coming from a different place because that shoulder's forward.
And nope, Messenger checks up. I don't think it's going to make it.
That was the one right there.
See, the thing about Simonsen and what he's doing on the right lane is he knows exactly what that ball is going to do on the right lane. He knows that if he keeps it in front of him, he can jam it to the 1-3, whether or not it strikes or not. But he knows what it's going to do. It's 100% predictable.
20 feet to go, he knows it's hitting the pocket or not hitting the pocket.
Jason Belmonte, will he have company in a few more frames? Or will Anthony be hanging with Mike Albee, which, by the way, is a great thing to do?
Yeah.
But Belmo sits atop at 4. USBC Masters. Whoa! Explosive Simonsen on that left-hand lane.
It's starting to hook just a little bit earlier. He's starting to creep up. That was awfully close to going high. Just a little small adjustment, a little half maybe. A lot of shots over the same board over the last game and a half.
Hasn't missed on that left. That looked better.
Yeah. Ooh, chopped through the middle. And he'll have a 2-4-7.
You thought it looked better? I thought it looked better, and it goes through the face for 247.
I did too. It was
Not a
off
good
his
sign.
hand cleaner, which is the first thing. He's got to get that part. Now he's just got to get the direction better. It's so hard. Your head right now is spinning. The whole thing's going fast, and you need it to slow down, and you have a shot clock up there telling you got to go. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. You know, he had been a very good spare shooter today, and that's a major error in the fourth frame. There's still time for him.
That is a big miss, guys.
Yeah, between count and the miss, and psychologically, that's a very unusual thing for a player of Gary's caliber to do at any point. He's focusing on his physical game, I would imagine, right now, trying to get that dialed in, and now it's carried over to a spare ball and caused another error.
No, and now this is not going to look easy. Professionals usually do a very good job with this type of shot,
Just
but
chasing it, dude.
Yeah, that was a move to the left and left. And when he got it all the way to 5, I thought it might actually make it off of it, but he obviously feels like the middle lane's a little flat. He's got to get back out to the zone where Justin was at earlier.
5 for 5 this week. 6 for 6. Thank you, Lane Talk.
Chasing it. I can't.
Lane Talk, it won't let you lie to yourself or anyone else.
I gotta go back left. It's just taking this.
You can't go back left?
I gotta go back.
No, I want you to go left.
It's get it firm and into
You trying to shape it. You trying to shape it right. It's not gonna work. You need to.
I didn't do that all week. And now I'm trying to roll it.
firm and
Yeah.
I'm just moving left. And
That's it.
It sounds like they want him to move back to the left and increase his ball speed more like what he has done the entire week.
Look out. Oh, man, through the nose, and Simonsen's got some work to do. That's the right lane again. Now, you guys have harped on his game plan about, as you said, both of you, about jamming it in. Is it time to try something different?
No.
Okay. Why not?
He doesn't need to. He's not being pushed. He doesn't have to throw 5 in a row, 4 in a row. That's just a bad break. That was close.
Really close. And it wasn't his best shot. He knew that was in early.
He's not being pushed yet. I don't see a need for him to change anything.
Okay. Obviously, the left lane, we can pretty much bet our houses that this is going to be a strike.
And that's where he finishes.
Yeah. We'll take a look at our
Chris,
big board.
You think he needs a change?
At this point, I think you're pot committed
Yeah, I
to
think
it.
you're pot committed.
Okay.
I still think 2 strikes is enough. I just don't think he wanted it to be the last 2 on that lane.
We get to keep our houses. Because we all knew it was going to strike.
Perfect on the left lane.
It does seem like it's creeping higher and higher, but I mean, a little small move there, I think. Yeah.
Maybe a half.
And that's enough. This might be the shot of the match here.
They moved. Well, he moved back to the left and tried to fire it. Left shoulder shuts down. Ball goes dead right. What a huge break to strike on Brookman. He's only trailing by 4, if you can believe it.
He can take the lead right here. If he can find a way to just settle it in, can really flip the pressure back on Simonsen on a lane he struggled on. It's close.
It's a little light, and he's got a single pin to shoot at.
Looked bad out of his hands. Direction was good.
And majors do some funny things to people, doesn't it?
Majors, television, titles, money.
Whatever drives you. But the real problem is just not getting off his hand as clean as earlier. The ones that get off a little bit flatter are fine. The ones that get up in the air, all tend to go to the right. That one actually got in line, but still up in the air and just didn't roll off the mid lane spot, which he was so good at during match play.
All right, the battle continues. Anthony Simonsen versus the right lane.
That's spot on, Dave. Oh my goodness.
And Simonsen has yet to land a solid punch against that lane.
It's not making the shots.
And now you're in a tough spot on that lane, because if you want to make a change, it's blind.
Yeah, but we would all agree that he's done that a few hundred times before, made a blind change, even late in an important match. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Great spare.
Now, you've been saying it, this left lane looks like it keeps trying to go.
You got to pinch another half. In my book, I think you have to pinch another half there.
Comfortable with where I'm playing. Like, I'm not comfortable. That's it. So,
What is it going to take you to feel comfortable?
Great question.
Okay. I want you to do me a favor. Before you go throw that shot, you go to your wife, give her a kiss.
It's not a bad idea. All right, Simonsen, left lane.
Oh, he did get high.
That was a miss in, though.
Oh, this thing is FFO.
You know what I mean? So I'm throwing bad shots.
Far from over.
Get it out of your head. Go to your wife, give her a kiss. I don't care what you do. You got to change something in your head, because if you're panicking, you feel like you're in quicksand.
I know.
So breathe.
I mean, this is where you kind of like cinch up your belt, roll up your sleeves, and go, you know what, I'm not going down without a fight.
This is Rocky and Apollo Creed, basically, right here.
Get ready to call timeout.
Am I up? We're good. I'm good.
All right, you got it?
There is a lot going on in that head.
Well, he didn't give his wife a kiss. He can strike out and win this thing.
Oh my goodness.
Not too many times do you get a messenger on a 5-pin. In the 9th frame of a major championship, you got one.
Runaway Brooklyn, caves the 5.
Yep. Make that the 8th frame. Here comes the 9th frame.
Take time out. Time out.
There you go.
All right, you got away with a bunch of bad ones. Now just throw one good one. That's it.
He's saying all the right things.
Come here.
Finally.
There you go.
Come here. Let's go.
Come on, Gary.
Well, let's see.
One of the best of your life right here.
Will the kiss from Lauren make the difference? With a kiss! Gary Haines.
Take the break. One good one.
Wow. I've seen a lot in my 25 years in the booth.
Take all the breaks. All of them.
Simonsen's got a strike here, guys.
He's got to throw a double to put some heat back on him. Well, it's hard to say unbelievable break, but I mean, even one up right there. Wow. And either way, no matter what he does, Gary has ball in hand.
Yeah, that was huge. But he needs to strike out in the 10th frame and put all the pressure back on Gary Haines.
Needs one right here to make him mark, for starters.
He gets it. Boy, he just beat him up that time.
Yeah, that was a pretty good right jab right there.
That was an unfriendly strike.
Count is so important now that
Have a re-rack, please.
it's going to take a little bit to bowl this 10th frame now, I have a feeling.
I like the idea of a re-rack. It's going to slow him down a touch and an extra few seconds for Gary Haines to think.
Yeah, let me give you some more time to think about it. Take a shot of the tournament for Simonsen right here.
There's a deadwood in the left gutter.
Simonsen has struck on this lane in this game every time but once.
Yep. In the field of play.
And I think all the time favors Anthony Simonsen here, given his experience. But he still, as we've said 1,000 times today, he's got to execute. Look out! Oh my!
Fuck.
An unbelievable shot through the nose. So we want to just.
Unbelievable. 4 through the middle. Got it up the lane again, and this time he pays for it.
Well, we had sounded the warning call. He's going to have to go for this, and
that one shot.
Holy smokes.
Gary Haines needs a mark.
We could be, and he's going to take a re-rack. That's a very savvy move right there for a television rookie to take the re-rack and settle his nerves down, because his heart rate at this moment.
Dude, so many bad ones. Just one good one. Gave you one good one. One good one. Gave it to you. Gave it to you. One good shot. One good shot. One.
He must mark. Any mark.
One good shot. That's it. One good one. One good shot.
It is almost
so good.
The game right
so
there.
Good.
Well,
such a good shot.
By far his best shot of the game on that right lane. Yep.
Can you make a 10-pin?
It's incredible. It's a lot like the O'Neill one, and O'Neill shot 100 of them on TV. Gary has never shot one for a major.
And for $100,000.
It is a long, long way away right now.
At 60 feet, just became 120.
Looks good. Can he get 4? Can he get 4? The moment of the match is brought to you by Pilgrims. Chicken can be boring, but Pilgrims is turning chicken nuggets upside down. I love it. You love it. Put it in a nugget. This is Dad and his wife. Gary Haines is the USBC Masters champion for his first professional title.
Just breaks.
And nothing you can do about that.
Thanks, that's one good one. I need that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Are you kidding me?
Anthony Simonsen very gracious there.
All it took was a kiss, guys.
Go grab the trophy, Gary.
Dino might be opening a psychology practice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't know of any other ball reps in the time that I've been doing this that have suggested, why don't you go kiss your wife and it'll help you out, because it did.
Instead of throwing it straight and hard, he curves it at the 10 pin to win the 2025 Masters. Wow.
And Kimberly's got him.
With a trophy presentation, I'd like to introduce Anthony Colangelo, USBC Board of Directors. Will you please do the honor?
Sure. Gary, congratulations from the million members of the United States Bowling Congress, the staff and board of USBC. Congratulations on winning the 2025 Masters.
Gary, you fought hard for that. Walk us through the moment in the 10th when you knew that you needed to make that spare and then 4.
Let's just face fact, I just bowled 2 awful games. But Dino was like, go kiss your wife and loosen up. And right at the right time, threw the best shot right there. And I couldn't have thrown any better that first shot in the 10th. I thought it struck. I mean, I pured it. So at least I earned it in the end. I may not have earned it early, but at least I earned it in the end, I feel like.
You are a steam plant operator from New York, and a childhood dream just came true for you. You didn't just win a PBA Tour title, you just won a major. Put into words this moment.
There are no words. After Wednesday night, this was just clearly my week. I mean, I got every break possible that match. And I know I did. I know I threw it the worst 2 games. I threw it when I needed it, and we're here, and we won, and it's amazing.
When it's your night, it's your night. Now let's talk about the fact that you took a moment in the 8th to give your wife Lauren a kiss. Your mom and dad are here. What does it mean to have their love and support in this moment for you?
It means everything. The support I had out of here, it's crazy.
Congratulations, you are a Masters champion. Go give your wife and parents a big hug.
Yeah, mom and dad there. There's Lauren. And for mom and dad, for sports parents, watching is the hardest part by far. An unlikely champion for the 2nd year in a row. Deron Booker in 2024, Gary Haines in 2025. Guys, this was one of the wildest telecasts I can ever remember either watching or being a part of.
Yeah, I'm with you there. One of the biggest underdogs that we've ever had in a major championship. And look how this thing ended.
Well, Randy, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Chris Barnes, thank you so much for being with us for these past couple of days.
Thanks,
3 days
Chris.
of PBA bowling coverage comes your way next weekend on FS1 beginning Friday at 6:30 Eastern. It's the PBA Junior National Championships. Then it's 2 days of coverage of PBA All-Star Weekend presented by Cubica AMF. Saturday at noon Eastern, it's one-handers versus two-handers.
Thank you, Bolify.
And Sunday at noon Eastern, it's the Strike Derby, all on FS1. Up next, it's MLS Soccer, St. Louis City SC versus Austin FC. For Randy, Chris Barnes, Kimberly Pressler, and our amazing crew, we thank them so much. I am Dave Lamont. You've been watching a memorable USBC Masters telecast, the PBA on Fox. See you next week.